what's happening YouTube. Getting slammed in traffic and getting boxed in, but I'm gonna do my best to not get distracted too much. But I got a new idea. I think I'm gonna title this video "What's the Use?" and not in a negative mindset. But this is for the ones that are progressing and are double guessing themselves in any form, fashion, or manner. This doesn't just apply to relationships, friends, family, all that. It applies to a lot of things in life. We're in 2025. For the few subscribers I'm watching, I assume that you're above your team. I don't even look at the stats. I don't give a flying fuck because I'm too busy working on the things and learning the lessons and applying the lessons that I'm putting here. When that free time opens up, then I'll be in more detail and more, social on understanding this social platform. But I digress. The purpose is why? Why go back? What's the purpose? What do you gain? Okay, let's start from young. The social experience in daycare is quite important. It's probably better to have a loving mom and father in the household. That's a gain for you. It's supposed to be a natural thing, but obviously society as a whole, not just America, but it's kind of every first and second world country is falling into this devilish pit. It's removing the basics of foundation from us. But this is supposed to be placed in there. You learn basic societal norms, supposedly, even though the norms are not perverted and have been perverted for years. So there's that. You can throw that in the calculation. But these things you gain an advantage from, albeit somewhat perverted. Now, you gain friendships, maybe, or associations. It depends on how aware you are and how you really want to look at it. Friendships, as the Bible says, a friend is made in a time of trouble. A friend is closer than a brother. A friend is a person that isn't fair weather, basically. And we know if you're any kind of mature, most people, most relationships, even females, if you're a bitch, even, my bad, if you're a female, even males, a lot of males are actually bitches. Like, I don't know, but fair weather is a common thing, especially in this day and age. It's increased. It's never, I'm not saying, I've noticed from the 90s to now, from I was a really small dude to now a grown man, it has increased exponentially to where people are damn near almost soulless if I had to measure it. That being said, your benefits from certain associations have diminished. But now taking this into awareness, we're in 2025, and Trump is making a prime example of what I'm speaking of. Tariffs. He's like, look here, Canada. Look here, Mexico. This is strictly business. I'm a businessman, as Jay-Z would say. And even coughing up a shitload of cash. And you don't serve anything. You don't buy from us. You don't fuck with us. You just take from us. You don't give to us whatsoever. And a lot of people from other countries that don't want to go back to their countries whatsoever, a lot of other countries that benefit greatly off of us and continuously do so, don't want to end the association and believe they can bully us into keeping said association and keeping it in the manner that is happening. Well, Trump straightened that shit out, and he straightened out most of it really quick by calling everybody's bluff and saying, fuck you, I don't need you. If it's going to be a shitty connection, I'd rather it be no connection. This is kind of my ideal, and it's progressed me in my personal life. And you can't just sit on the sideline. You have to progress it. like excessively. You have to push it because these people are roaches. Like, so it's like, all right, you know what? Fuck off. Okay, cool. And then they're standing in the corner. No, I need you to fuck off. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck, like, I need you to get all the way the fuck out of here. I mean, all of it. Everything. Don't call me. Don't look at me. If you're dying, I won't help you. I won't, just like you would do to me. Fuck off. And oh, whoa, where did this come from? You're crazy, man. You're crazy. But you've been raping me. I've been falling asleep and you've been pee-diddling me. That's what other countries have been doing to America. And on a personal level, within America, as a whole, this has been happening to Americans. But as a viewer, it's been more than 9 out of 10 times, probably almost 10, I can guarantee it actually, it has been happening to you. And if you want a better life, hold on.
You don't belong no
Give
more,
me a
man.
second.
You done already outgrew that shit.
There we go. Anyways, random shit, that's always gonna happen. But if you, like I was saying, aside from all the random attacks, you're going to have to cut all the bullshit off if you want a life, let alone a better life. I've increased this better life, and you'll have people that threaten you, just like Canada tried to threaten them. Hey, you're gonna be fucked up, man. Alright, cool. Click. Guess what, bitch? The hammer's dropping. And it's aimed. Oh, you don't like it. Oh, you thought I was a bitch. And I'm not gonna go into detailed situations, but I'm going to ones that we can all relate and that have been common spread and been in mainstream news. Any basic person can really put this together.
In 2 miles, keep right.
Okay, so Nipsey died by going back into his hood. He was improving his hood, basically turning a ghetto into a flourishing financial district. And a person from his own gang popped him in his head. And nobody from his squad, not his own brother, none of the hustlers, the thugs, none of them squeezed back for him. None of them. That guy is alive. He's in jail right now. Probably getting his butt stretched, but he's in jail. Like, he's alive. Nipsey Hussle, that was improving the hood and everybody around it and lifting up the community, he's dead now. The guy not only shot him in the head at point blank, but came back and kicked him in the head while he was dying.
In 1 mile, keep right towards Interstate 55 South St. Louis.
On camera. And this has been shared. And for all the gangster and the real tough nigga shit that we're all, for people that look like me, we're all, and we've seen it firsthand. Like, we'll see the tough nigga shit, but there's no actual justice, even amongst ourselves. And that's really troublesome. So, speaking of people that look like me and come from environments like me, that's probably a lesson to learn. If you're more mature and you survived that era, and you're out of your young nigga phase, then you still have to deal with it. This exists in corporate. This exists in your bullshit ass job, regardless of what kind of job you have.
Now keep right.
Give it a second. It's gonna while out.
Follow Interstate 55 South.
Okay, we're back. Anyways, regardless of whatever job you have, whatever relationship, more than likely your job is a lot better than dying. But that's the thing about being raised in a rough situation. You understand the value of life when you see how quickly it can be snuffed out. Let me break it down for you. You realize that death is death. It doesn't have to be by a bullet when you're raised in rough situations. That's why foreigners come here and they're very appreciative, because they can see things in a very nuanced way that the average pampered person will never perceive it. You know that being around the wrong person can put you in danger. You make the association. Even if you don't die, you could be paralyzed. If you don't paralyze, you automatically make association that your future is dwindled in some form or fashion. Now, if you even remotely intelligent, you start making connections, just like your brain makes connections on other things. You make connections that this happens in many different places. Like, that's why hustlers come from the hood. Like, man, this motherfucker's been working at Burger King for 20 years. I'm selling dope. And coming from where I'm from, I can't blame them, but I can blame them. Because, yes, all you see is destruction, and even the successful ones are destructive, but now, we had internet when I was growing up. You had prime examples. You can live higher. You can aim higher. No one's limiting your dream, except for the people that don't serve you. And that's where the point I'm going to. Your family may not serve you. They may not know better. They may be actual, genuine, 100% idiots, which often they are. I can place a strong bet. Like, no matter who you are. But doesn't mean you don't love them. But you have, like, as far as we know it, you have one life. And even if you had infinity, would you want any one of them to be shitty? Would you want any moment to be shitty? There are people that are like, I have a homeboy that I went to trucking school with. He's like, man, I'm okay with it. I don't really want nothing. I want nothing out of life. Like this nigga said, I became a trucker, and he had his little small brag moments as a child, as most motherfuckers do, somewhere between high school to college, usually, and then that's it. And this is the average person, the average male. We can go on females, but that's what Red Pill is for. I'm just generally speaking Red Pill. This is deeper shit. But you'll have your small moments of self-gratification, basically mental masturbation, that'll last you for eternity. And then he's like, yeah, I don't really want nothing. I don't really do anything. I mean, basically, our conversation went from deep end to where he felt uncomfortable of deep end progression mentally, spiritually, physically, and financially, to reverting back to the basic retardation that I always mean. Everybody has their own retardation. There's a song that Kendrick talks about every race's stupid ass flaw that they have. The black man bases his value off of coochie. That's why we call y'all bitch ass niggas. But like every race has their strong weakness that they really lean on, that robs them of their humanity. And this thing is quite often in brown people, like the darker brown people base their value off of sexual or attention of any sort and fashion. And it's like, nigga, you're a slave. Like, you're a modern day slave. Wait a minute, nigga. You pay taxes still. I don't pay taxes. Since you met me, I figured out a way not to pay taxes. I showed you I don't pay taxes legally. And I showed you how to do it. You haven't improved your life. Your life still sucks the way it has when I first met you. And you're happy with it. And certain friends that are very similar to this motherfucker, just that very different in very small ways. They're like, hey man, why don't you call us? Why don't you hang with us? Because I don't like ropes around my neck. Nigga, what you mean? What you mean? That's why I don't hang. That's crazy, dude. Like, but you can't tell them that because they're like, they get offended even if you allude to it in an intelligent way. This is how you know or I assume this is demon possession, because they are low-level grade retarded. They're functioning retards. And it's terrible to have friendships as functioning retards. Because, man, they don't know no better. And a lot of people that say on YouTube and in real life, like, these people don't know no better. But when slightly allude to their above IQ level in a non-aggressive way that wouldn't be offensive, they get offended. It's like, oh, whoa, you're talking positive. You're talking positive change that is aimed to help me and you, or just help me. And I feel offended because I'm okay with my life being a piece of shit. And I feel offended that you don't want to be a piece of shit with me. I feel offended that you don't want to talk about things that make my life shitty. That's why, like, many years ago, when I quit smoking weed, and even many more years ago, when I quit drinking, I lost all those friends. I had a lot of friends. When I gave up vices, I have no friends. I go to the gym, I have less friends. I read the Bible, even less friends. I get more spiritually deep involved. Those less friends, you have less friends, the better you become. Like, it's just given. Look at what was that motherfucker that tried to play gangster that was in the NBA and that basically got booted out the NBA? It proves his point. You hang around with the wrong people if you want. Where if you're excelling, and see what happens in your life. If you want to excel, you can only hang around with people that want to excel. Now, this applies even if you're in the hood. Most of our inventions are people from the hood. A lot of our inventions that affect the whole world are from black people. Half of those people are from the hood. The filament of the light bulb is from a nigga that couldn't have his, of course, but I'm not gonna go into details. Like, you have the capability to change no matter where you at. Nelson Mandela. You can Mandela affect the fuck out of your life if you want. And I know I'm flipping it to a whole different meaning, but am I? Now I'm gonna get into like some really out there discussions, so I'm gonna stop it right there. I don't want to go too far, but we simultaneously live in multi dimensions, and every dimension is fixed at every moment by every choice that you make. And that's why media, people around you, which are demon possessed often, and everything else is constantly trying to infuse itself into your mind and influence your choices, so it empowers them and weakens you and keeps you basically as a spiritual mental slave. But I digress into the more lower level thinking of things, because you gotta step by step climb up there. So not only can get you killed, it can have you financially trapped. You can be in a bad relationship. It can have you trapped for eternity until a bitch wants to wring you dry. It could like I said, job financially. You could be working a dead-end job. You could be at McDonald's for the rest of your life. You can work as a trucker at Stevens Transport, where I got schooled, and homeboy got schooled. A lot of dumbasses got schooled, and they still there years later getting paid the bare minimum when their skills have increased. That's a whole different story. Like, it doesn't matter what field you're in, if you don't take constant initiative to reevaluate yourself and take the calculated steps, you'll never move forward. And this is why I like trucking conceptually wise, because people are like, well, taking steps and doing things like that is risky. I am driving multi-ton vehicle that can malfunction and be extremely dangerous around other dangerous motherfuckers, foreign and domestic, while driving around other dumbasses day in and day out. Risk is not something I'm adverse to anymore. Let alone the history that I've raised in. Being a melanated skater from the hood, surrounded by the typical bullshit. It gets no worse than that. So, but even remove all my own personal styling, even as a trucker, you're constantly aware of the quote unquote finality of this life that you have in the moment. And you don't waste it on things that are wasteful. Not only homeboy, not only pre-used, pre-owned box that's been spread around the hood. Lord knows how many times. Not only on jobs that can give a fuck about you, they don't give a fuck about you. Not only about your family that knows you as little man from back in the day. They used to shit his pants when he was 2. Not like, not only from your neighborhood or people you grew up with or schools, but as the potential that you hold in your mind. There's dreams that you hold while your eyes are wide awake. You are all these things. But you can't clearly see that if you don't identify the blinders. And not only identify it, but just like as Trump is doing, attacking it as they attack you. Fuck me, fuck you. You're not cool with me, I'm not cool with you. You don't spend with me, I don't spend with you. You don't call me, I won't call you. I'm gonna avoid you actually. Actually, if you go 1, I go 3,000. And then I'll multiply past that if you make any other form of aggression. And I was right when I was young with this idea. I was just in the wrong environment. But it still works even in wrong environments. But the outcome is not always favorable. But having the right idea and shifting that idea and using that what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And applying that, if you think it's okay for me, regardless of what you're telling me, I'm gonna give you 10 times that. Like if you're not, and it doesn't even have to be in the hood sense or in the retaliatory sense, but in the sense of, oh, you don't like progression, wisdom, knowledge, growing? You don't like God? Well, I'm gonna give you none of it. Actually, I'm gonna take it from you. You don't like money? Well, then give it. You don't like, you know what I mean? You don't like time? That's why you throw yours away. Identify your value. Because God knows it. Either way, like and subscribe.